There are castles that look too beautiful to be haunted. Himeji Castle is one of them. In the daytime, it rises over Hyogo, Japan, bright and white, like a heron spreading its wings. Tourists walk through its gates with cameras raised, admiring the clean walls, the wooden corridors, the perfect shape of the towers. But at night, when the crowds are gone, that beauty changes. The halls get colder, the stone paths go silent, and somewhere deep inside the castle grounds, near an old well covered by iron mesh, people say you can still hear a woman counting. Not screaming at first, counting. 1, 2, 3. And if you stay long enough to hear her reach 9, you should already be running. This is true haunt lore, and tonight, we're going inside Himeji Castle, to the Well of Okiku. The story begins centuries ago, when Himeji was not a peaceful landmark. It was a fortress, a maze of gates, walls, narrow passages, and hidden turns, built to trap enemies and confuse invaders. Every path felt intentional. Every shadow had a purpose. And inside that world lived a young servant woman named Okiku. She was known for loyalty, quiet strength, the kind of person who kept her head down, listened more than she spoke, and understood that in a castle full of power-hungry men, silence could keep you alive. But silence did not save her. According to the legend, a powerful retainer named Aoyama was plotting to betray the lord of the castle. He wanted control. He wanted the castle. And anyone loyal to the rightful lord stood in his way. Okiku discovered the plot. Some versions say she was a spy, secretly working to stop Aoyama. Others say he wanted her for himself, and she rejected him. But every version ends the same way. Aoyama needed to break her. So he chose something small, a plate. The household owned 10 precious plates. They were not ordinary dishes. They were valuable treasures, symbols of status and authority. Okiku was responsible for them. One night, she was ordered to count them. Imagine her kneeling under the dim light of an oil lamp, the castle quiet around her, the wooden beams creaking softly overhead. Outside, the wind moving through the walls like a breath. She touched each plate carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then she stopped. There was no 10th plate. She counted again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still missing. And that was when the room seemed to close in around her. Because in that world, losing something so valuable was not a mistake. It was a death sentence. But the plate had not been lost. Aoyama had hidden it. He stepped forward with the answer already prepared. He told Okiku he would forgive the missing plate. He would protect her. He would save her life. But only if she became his mistress. Only if she helped him betray the Lord. Okiku understood the trap immediately. If she agreed, she would live as a traitor. If she refused, she would die as a criminal. So she refused. Aoyama's mask fell away. The guards seized her. They dragged her out through the dark castle grounds toward the well. Okiku's well still exists at Himeji Castle. It is not a stage prop. It is a real stone shaft, deep and black, cut into the earth. During the day, people peer into it and feel a strange heaviness in the air. At night, it looks less like a well and more like an open mouth. They brought Okiku to the edge. Aoyama demanded that she submit. She refused, so they tortured her. They lowered her into the well, down into the cold dark, then pulled her back up again, soaked and gasping. Again and again, they demanded she confess. Again and again, she would not bend. Finally, Aoyama lost control. He struck her down, and her body was thrown into the well. Think about that final moment, the fall into total blackness, the impact far below, the freezing water, the stone walls too slick to climb, the circle of sky shrinking above her. Okiku died alone in that pit, falsely accused, betrayed, and buried in darkness. But she did not stay silent. Soon after her death, the Night Watch began hearing strange sounds near the well. At first, it was weeping, soft, distant, almost hidden beneath the wind. Then the weeping became words. A woman's voice rose from the well after midnight, hollow and wet, echoing off the stones. 1, 2, 3. The guards froze. 4, 5, 6. The voice continued, slow and careful, like someone counting objects laid out in front of her. 7, 8, 9. Then came silence. Not peaceful silence. The kind of silence that makes your body know something terrible is about to happen. And then she screamed. A scream so sharp, so full of grief and rage, that men dropped their lanterns and ran from their posts. Some refused to return. Servants fled the castle. Even samurai, trained to face death without fear, avoided the well after dark. Because every night, Okiku counted the plates. And every night, she reached 9. Never 10. The curse began to spread through Aoyama's household. People whispered that he could no longer sleep, that he heard the counting even behind closed doors, that he saw wet footprints where no one had walked, that he dreamed of a woman with hair over her face, holding out 9 plates and waiting for the last one. Some say he went mad. Some say his family line withered under the weight of her curse. And the well remained. No one filled it in. No one destroyed it. They built around it. They covered it. They respected it. Or maybe they feared what would happen if they disturbed her. Over time, Okiku became more than a ghost story. In Japanese folklore, she became an onryo, a vengeful spirit born from betrayal, injustice, and violent death. Not just a wandering soul, but a force of rage powerful enough to poison the lives of the living. And then something even stranger happened. In the castle grounds, people began finding unusual butterfly chrysalises. To the locals, they looked like tiny bound women, wrapped as if tied with ropes. They called them Okiku mushi, Okiku bugs. To some, it was only nature. To others, it was proof that Okiku's suffering had leaked into the physical world, as if the castle itself remembered what had been done to her. Even today, visitors say the air around Okiku's well feels different. Cameras malfunction, batteries drain. People feel sudden sadness pressing down on them for no reason. And there are stories from modern guards, too. One night, during a cold autumn rain, a security guard was making his rounds near the well. The castle was closed. No tourists, no footsteps, just rain tapping against stone. As he approached the courtyard, his flashlight began to flicker. Once, twice. Then the air pressure dropped, like the whole night was holding its breath. He turned toward the well. That was when a voice whispered directly beside his ear, "Taranai." Not enough. He spun around. No one was there. Only the wet stones. Only the black mouth of the well. He ran from that courtyard and later asked to be moved from that post. And honestly, can you blame him? Because the scariest thing about Okiku is not just that she died. It is that she may still be trapped inside that moment, still counting, still searching for the plate that was stolen from her, still reaching 9 and realizing the truth all over again. 1, 2, 3, a false accusation. 4, 5, 6, a cruel man smiling in the lamplight. 7, 8, 9, a missing plate, a dark well, a scream that never really ended. Himeji Castle still stands, white and beautiful against the sky. People come from all over the world to admire it. They call it a treasure, a masterpiece, a symbol of Japan's past. And it is. But beauty does not erase blood. Stone remembers. Wood remembers. Water remembers. And somewhere beneath the polished history, beneath the tourist paths and the bright castle walls, Okiku is still there, waiting in the dark. So if you ever visit Himeji Castle and you find yourself near that old well after the sun begins to fade, listen carefully. If you hear crying, walk away. If you hear counting, do not stay. And if the voice reaches 9, do not wait for 10. So, after unpacking the pure, tragic terror we just explored, the cruel betrayal by Aoyama, the torture and murder of Okiku, and the horrifying reality that her vengeful spirit still screams after counting to 9, you're probably wondering, what exactly is the vibe at Himeji Castle today? Well, my personal take on this famous Japanese fortress right now is all about its deeply deceptive, breathtaking charm. If you travel to Hyogo, Japan today, expecting to find a dark, rotting, Hollywood-style ruin, you will be completely caught off guard. During the daylight hours, this stunning castle actually possesses a remarkably serene and peaceful aesthetic. Rising bright and white like a heron spreading its wings, with its clean walls, wooden corridors, and the perfect shape of its towers, it feels incredibly majestic. Bathed in the warm sun, the property genuinely looks like a bright, picturesque Thomas Kinkade-style painting of a historic, peaceful Asian landmark. Today, tourists walk through its gates with cameras raised, admiring it as a masterpiece and a symbol of Japan's past. But honestly, from my perspective, that picture-perfect, welcoming exterior is exactly what makes the reality of Himeji Castle so deeply unsettling. The contrast is just jarring, because while it looks like a serene, polished masterpiece by day, the injustice baked into its very stone paths refuses to rest. You can be admiring the beautiful architecture in the sun, but the moment the crowds are gone, the halls get colder. If you step near that old stone well covered by iron mesh, that suffocating dread rushes right back in. The spirit of Okiku hasn't moved on. She is still trapped in that dark pit, counting to 9 and searching for the plate that was stolen from her. Visitors today still experience malfunctioning cameras, drained batteries, and a sudden sadness pressing down on them for no reason. Himeji Castle proves that beauty does not erase blood, and that stone and water remember. Thanks for joining me on this case here on True Hant Lore, and I'll catch you in the next mystery.